Hey parents, it's Britta Oforikurugu here, purposeful parenting practitioner and licensed conscious parenting class facilitator. I've been reading Dr. Nicole LePera's book called How to Do the Work, and I absolutely love it. I thought I would share some profound things with you about healing your inner child and reparenting yourself. So, what's the inner child? Your inner child represents the parts of yourself that is still childlike, playful, creative, curious, and also carries memories of your earliest experiences. If you experience trauma or chronic emotional wounding, your inner child most likely feels unsafe. This lack of safety creates an insecurity within you where you fear abandonment, don't trust yourself, and you become highly critical of yourself. Here are some reasons your inner child might not feel safe. For instance, if you had to perform or achieve to gain love from your parents, if you were always made to focus on how other people felt, plus your needs never mattered, if you were made fun of, shamed and ridiculed a lot as a child, if you often felt isolated or alone, if your parents didn't model healthy coping mechanisms, if you were abused and neglected, and if chaos, unpredictability, and instability were your quote unquote normal. All of those things and many others contribute to your inner child feeling unsafe. This is really heavy stuff, isn't it? So, how do you heal your inner child? Well, this is where reparenting yourself comes in. To reparent your inner child, it means to give your inner child what your parents, parent figures, and caregivers failed to provide you as a child. Reparenting yourself focuses on meeting core needs that your inner child had but were never acknowledged. Some common examples of core needs include the right to just be and exist, the need to live in a safe physical and or emotional environment, the need to feel and express all of your emotions, good and bad, the desire to achieve your dreams, the need to be loved and accepted, to speak up and express who you truly are, to be truly seen and validated, to be protected, etc., etc. So, to meet those needs and heal your inner child, you need to give yourself abundant grace and compassion. Speak to yourself like a kind, loving parent would. Practice setting clear boundaries because as a child, you most likely didn't have a choice, but as an adult now, you get to choose who has access to you. Give yourself time to play, to rest, to create, to just be. Continually pause and remind yourself, I am safe. I can take care of me now. Write a letter to your inner child acknowledging all that you went through and create a vision for yourself for the future. Slowly, as you do inner child work, you will notice you feel more calm, plus in control of your life. This is because the older, more adult parts of you feels trustworthy to your inner child. Reparenting yourself is basically giving your adult self what you needed but didn't get in childhood. It's so crucial now as a parent yourself because when you do this work, you will be better positioned to meet the needs of your children and help break the cycle of trauma. Children depend on their parents for a whole lot more than just their basic needs like food, shelter, and clothing. For example, we need our parents to teach us how to set limits for ourselves, how to identify, express, and manage our emotions, how to soothe ourselves, how to treat ourselves with compassion and grace. And if we didn't get age appropriate discipline, unconditional love and acceptance, models for healthy relationships, or the skills to understand and manage our emotions and behaviors, we're likely to struggle with these issues in adulthood. So think back on your life. Does any of this ring true for you? I know it does for me. Adults often think they should just innately have these social emotional skills, but these are actually learned behaviors. In order to learn them, we need compassionate parents, parent figures, caregivers, role models, as well as safe opportunities to practice these life skills. Ideally, before we're out in the world on our own. Sometimes parents can't give us what we need emotionally. They can't teach us about healthy relationships, good boundaries, self compassion, and trust in our intuition, often because they don't know how to. Well, they haven't had the experiences themselves, and no one taught them either. This is often the case, especially in families experiencing all kinds of family dysfunction. However, it's not too late to learn these skills and give yourself what your parents couldn't. You can reparent yourself and fill in the gaps between what you needed and what your parents could give. As we always say, they did the best they could with what they had and knew. But now you have the self awareness and a duty to yourself and your children to change the narrative, to break the cycle of trauma and co create a better life and future. I actually hosted an amazing 5 day workshop series in November 2021 with some phenomenal international speakers. The workshop was called, are you ready for it? Reparent yourself while you parent your child. I'd love to connect with you, so drop me a message if you'd like a link to the recordings, and I'll happily send it over to you. You're absolutely going to love it. Also, if anything I've said so far resonates with you and you'd like my help to find solutions to your biggest parenting problem at the moment, as well as cultivate more calm connection and cooperation with your child, my inbox is open to you. I created the Empower Hour to support you. So just drop me a message to book a session with me. I can't wait to connect with you. See you soon.